Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is a speaker and author of several books on relationships. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. The Great Icon Chase Part 2. Now, if you, just check the previous one. I'm not going to reiterate anything here. I just want to get as much as I can out. And as you're listening, you realize I could actually do probably a pay-per-view on this, right? But I want to give you practical examples of how the icon chase works, right? And I'm going to use primarily African-American examples, even though I know I have women of other racial groups on here. And there's something there. I'm gonna hit y'all with something deep, even an example, right? But a practical way that you see the icon chase is especially when you see the Instagram booty model, right? And if you look at how much they get, if you really look at it, and y'all know me, have no problem saying Rom like a big booty. Rom likes a big booty, but part that's actually due to my imprint, like my direct imprint. Like the early women that, I got with, like me and all of that, had nice booties, right? And then that actually get along good with pretty women too, but that comes from having like a mother who was a model and stuff, because that's actually the deeper part of any imprint is always the opposite sex parent. But you see a practical example of it on Instagram. The reason why Instagram models get so much attention, if you really look at it, it's not their facial features. It's not their facial features. In fact, they could have different facial features, but if you look at it, and this is regardless even of their complexion, they always have the same type of weave. Think about it. A certain type of hair. And the complexion is not so that big a deal on Instagram, but that plays into the imprint overall. But specifically on Instagram, you notice they always have the same type of jeans, and tight jeans, butts, everything. They do the same exact poses. Like there's some pose where the woman got her leg out and she's kind of on her toes and everything. The reason why that works because so many men were imprinted by that, especially younger millennials. They were imprinted by that, and that goes back to maybe rap videos and stuff like that. They were imprinted by it. Because men were imprinted by like that certain look, when they see that look, they go into a mild trance. And then that's when a woman can get anything. Like there was a woman I was following, and I just unfollowed her because she published a list on how much it would cost, like to look at her picture and all of that. That's like my deal breaker. I was like, you're not that fine, right? But if you think about it, these women have guys going crazy over them. These women have guys going crazy over them, and the guys might not even understand. But it's like they see the picture, they go into a mild trance. That's that alpha female that they wanted as young people. It's an interesting game. And see, a lot of guys don't realize that. And I'm going to actually break it down about that. Because the reality is every guy doesn't go for the icon. But there's a really practical reason for that. I'm going to get into that in a bit. So, you got that angle. You see it practically there. Like, just take a look at you go to any woman's page on Instagram. The overwhelming majority of them, if they got like thousands of followers, people might think it's just, they half naked or anything like that. But after a while, the butts look alike. I'm just saying. This is coming from a lover of a fat ass. They look alike after a while. But you start noticing the poses, the hair, how they looking, even what they're doing. It's the same thing over and over. It's kind of boring to me, to be honest with you. Shit. I've gotten to the point on my IG, I just scrolled past it real quick. Well, not all of them, but scroll past it and stuff, look for the inspirational stuff, right? But the icon chase in the black community plays a part in two ways. One, how many black women go crazy over weaves. I mean, that's actually become a thing where a lot of black women get into that business, sell weaves, they making money. I mean, that's lucrative just on a cold-blooded thing. But it's because the black women know that men are going for a certain look. Now, I know some men will say, well, we just like natural hair women. I like natural hair women. But they're going to go by what the majority are doing, right? Also in colorism. Unfortunately, in the black community, like the people who address colorism, they have a strong point. And most of the icons in the black community are of a lighter complexion. It is what it is. So, yes, you have some chocolate sisters in there. Yeah, I mean, you can't doubt that. Very beautiful, but they have to come close to that icon. So even if they don't have like the complexion, what else they got? The body and the weave. I actually have an acquaintance who actually sells weaves, and I was just looking at her. Very beautiful chocolate sister in my eyes, right? But she got the weave, she got the body and everything. Even has some poses. In fact, she don't pose as much because she just had a baby. So she doing the whole mommy thing. So, but before that, it was, you couldn't really tell her. There wasn't any difference between her look and everybody else's. But it's all look. But what that is on a deeper level is going to the image. Ladies, remember with the man, that image is everything. You can put a man into a trance if you have a very sensual image, and even more if you coming close to at least his personal icon or general icon. Guys go crazy over it. So that's in the black community. Just to be clear, you got the same thing in the white community, but it's slightly different. For example, most women aren't blonde. Most white women are not blonde. Blonde is actually kind of rare, believe it or not. A true blonde hair woman is actually very rare. Most, you might get somebody light brown hair at best, but a truly blonde hair woman is very rare. Right now, I got a story behind that, ladies. I remember when I was selling gym memberships, and I sold the memberships to an office. They had to be probably about 9 people in the office, right? 8 of them would kind of come together and work out, but then there was one person who was kind of like, and I could tell the other women didn't like her. And she was actually a true blonde, blue-haired. She had a slim body, and nicest person though. No, she was one of the sweetest people I've ever met, but they didn't like her, and it was basically because of how she looked. She was at that icon. She was at, because some of the guys were going crazy over when they saw her, and she just stayed to herself. She just, she would talk to me because I wasn't trying to get with her, and I respected that she was about to marry another man. All right, so I was like, yeah. So me and her were cool, but I noticed how they reacted. But she reached that icon, so that mean it's slightly different in different stuff, but that's how the practical reason, right? Now, I wanted to get into why many naturally attractive women who are very attractive. Now, understand how Rom sees attractiveness, right? I don't have a specific archetype for attractive. Yeah, I say I like a big butt, but I get along just as well with women who don't have it. Ultimately, it's about energy. And plus, I see beauty this way. And I've said this before. A rose can be beautiful. An orchid can be beautiful. A dandelion can be beautiful. A daisy can be beautiful. Shoot, even some weeds can be beautiful. I take beauty as an individual thing if the person is at their most optimal, right? So, but that's me. And I'll get into why I have a different viewpoint of it than other people, because the thing with many attractive women are ignored because they don't make the icon. But then again, you get some women who don't make that icon who they still manage to get a man, right? Now understand about the icon. Every man can't chase an icon, because remember, a part of the icon is seen as a trophy. Something on their arms. That's why you have some men who will get sugar babies. That's why you have some men who will pay for an escort just to take to some outing. In fact, in some real rich circles, a man is judged as much by the woman on his arm as he is by anything else. Now, depending on the circle, it could be that she's very classy and intelligent like a Michelle Obama, or that she looked like a trophy, like Anna Nicole Smith, for those who remember her. You know? And see, the thing is, because of the association with money, with the trophy, with the icon, it's quite obvious. Every man can't get one because every man doesn't have money. Every man doesn't have money. So many men, even though they have to take what they can get. Now, a side effect of that is men who even though they might have a good wife at home or something like that, will still go to the strip club. Or a side effect of that is men who might not have enough money to get that trophy as a mate, but have enough money to go to the Dominican Republic or Brazil. See, many of these men who go to these places, they think they just going and they'll say, yeah, the women aren't cooperative, all that. They still icon chasing. They just doing it overseas. Because every one of those men, if they really let go of the icon, they can find a mate here. An attractive mate who would actually get along with them, but they want the icon. And let's just be clear, it's not right or wrong, it just is. It just is. It's something, if you're going to complain about it, don't look at the individual man. To complain about it, you got to look at the overall culture. Because remember, you could say the men doing this and that, but how many women are getting paid off of Instagram or getting paid in the sex industry or even getting paid in the modeling industry because they reach a certain, they look like a certain icon. And so there's a lot of people benefiting from this besides men. And two, I wanted to say about the icon thing, getting back to that rich man thing. Now, where I live has a fairly good median income, nearly 6 figures now, right? Might be over 6 figures now. So we have a good mix. We have a good mix where I live of, I would say it's an interesting area because you have some people who are definitely on the lower end of the middle class, but you also have some people who are on the upper end. And one of the things I've noticed is many women who really work hard to stay in shape. They'll pop out babies, they stay at home moms, and they'll be jogging and stuff with their baby stroller. And seriously, that's like a big thing. And like, we got a running store around here that's like stays busy, right? But they have to stay in that icon because they're dealing with men making money, and those men, they want that trophy. So they realize, hey, I got to keep that shape, right? And as an aside, I know a lot of women, regardless of race, say they want that man with money already established. Hit the gym. Hit the gym. Now, for specifically the African American community, you know, you get a lot of sisters. I want that guy he's making all that money and all that. He's going for that icon. I'm just tell you that now. He's going for the icon. Now, it's not to say he ain't going to respect somebody who can carry themselves with class and all of that, but you better look like an icon doing it. That's just it. Because remember, the icon is tied into how much money a man makes because he feel he's entitled to. I've heard 6-figure men, black and white, say that. They actually articulated those words in one form or the other. Like, I'm entitled to that very beautiful woman, right? Now, you definitely have a case when some men don't go for it, right? There's 3 reasons why ultimately a man wouldn't go for an icon, right? 3 reasons. The first one is he don't have the money. That's the first one. It's just sort of basic thing. That's why you will get some guys, they'll have a down woman and stuff. They'll have a down woman, but then when they get up there, they roll from that woman. And I know some women have pointed that out when I've talked about women like building with a man. I would say this, I would add this to the occasion. Try to figure out if he's an icon chaser. And pray he's one of the first, the other 2 categories I'm going to talk about, men who don't chase icons. Just get some idea. Try to like get an idea if he got an Instagram. Don't say anything to him, but look at what pictures he's looking at. If he likes going out or if he like shows a certain interest in certain actresses, stuff like that. Right? Try to get an idea. Have an honest conversation about how he dealt with the first women in his life. Try to get that idea. Like a woman, in fact, to be honest, you want to be as close to his imprint as possible. If you're going to marry a rich man or you're going to get a man with some money. Because if you're not his imprint and he's an icon chaser, as soon as he get a little bit more money, he got a shot at that icon, he's taking it. I'm just being real with y'all. He's going to take that shot for that icon if he's an icon chaser. Unless he's the next two things I'm going to talk about. Now, you got the men who can't because they broke. And then you got the men who don't because they just realistic. You got some men out there. It's not a lot. They just realistic about who they are. You know what? They could be some dude who's short. He's overweight. And most women consider him ugly. And it's not so much he grateful for what he get, but he's just realistic. Like, you know what? I ain't getting one of those women. I'm cool with it. Some people just cool wherever they at in life. They just take it. They laugh about it and they just go on. They realistic. The guy knows he might, you know what? He might like that icon. But even if he had a chance at it, he might be like, you know what? Nah, because I got to spend a lot of money. She look high maintenance. Like a lot of men don't like dealing with that. And that's the realistic man. They just realistic about who they are, what they can get, and they can find happiness with who they are. I met quite a few men who are like that. You know, they can mess with that woman who's a little bit overweight. They can mess with that woman who's a plain Jane. They'll just be happy because they like, you know what? She got my back. She good people's. You know, boom. Those men are hard to find though, ladies. I'm just be real with you. Most of them still going for the icon. Now, the third one, which I'm in, is just a matter of consciousness. A matter of consciousness. Now, people use the term woke now, but real consciousness is just having an understanding why you doing the stuff. Why you chasing this particular person or why you find this person attractive and then you see the game. And plus, my consciousness is expanded because I follow the philosophy that there's a natural blueprint for relationships and that I'm only compatible with certain folks, which is ironic because I get plenty of attention from women who other people would see as an icon. I have some good friends who were definitely like models and stuff. And, you know, but to me, the consciousness makes you look deeper than the surface. And it also helps you to be aware of things. Like I'm aware of my imprint. I'm aware of why certain women I find attractive. Right? I'm conscious of why I shouldn't bother with that woman, why I should bother with this one. I'm conscious of what might be going on, all of that. And the consciousness for men comes in different ways. There's no specific way. Basically, the men, because of their consciousness, have evolved out of wanting to even chase an icon. Because they're not caught up into that. And that's actually either the realistic man or the conscious man. Like those, if you can get that type, if you're not an icon, you'll probably have a good mate. You don't have to worry about it. Like you can put, like with, I'll say with me, you could put one of those icon type of women in my path, but if I'm not compatible with them, it doesn't matter. Right? And I'm just saying for me, like I said, the consciousness comes from different men. Like you get a lot of, like with the colorism issue, there's still many men who prefer a chocolate woman. Now, sometimes that could be the imprint, right? That could be the imprint, or it could be the consciousness, especially if in the black community, especially if they have, I'll say, a Pan-African, African-centered consciousness. First of all, they're going to see, their tendency is to see some as beauty different from what the majority culture promotes. And you'll see that in like really any subculture, any subculture, right? I should even add that. It's like, you know, in a golf subculture, they're going to see certain women as attractive, right? It's, well, you know what, in subcultures, the icon's still there. It's just slightly different. So, you know what, I ain't going to use that as an example. Because if you could be like that beauty queen otherwise, but for whatever reason, you like some guy in like, I don't know, like the golf subculture or one of these, like an Afro punk subculture, and you don't have the look, you still might be short. So, but that's it. And ladies, just understand that. I mean, the bottom line for it is, understand sometimes women get caught up. They'll say, oh, I'm not beautiful, I'm not this, I don't look like this. Understand the key to it all is understanding it's not really you, but it's the overall environment more than anything else. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't like improve yourself or anything like that, but understand what you're competing against. Just understand that's the main thing you should take away from. That's what you're competing against. And don't get mad at the man. Don't get mad at the man. I mean, if you really want to change what's going on out here, you have to be a part of changing the whole culture. You got to ask yourself, well, how are you playing into it? Because you're playing into it. If you're wearing a weave or something, or you're trying to look like an Instagram model, or you're a white woman and you wearing blonde hair, or I had a Korean friend. She was wearing blue contacts. She was playing. If you play into it at all, you contributed to the problem. Beyond the men. So, one of the main things is just embrace whatever you got. Just embrace it. Whatever you got. Of course, you want to be your best. You want to have your beauty, but embrace whatever you got, and you have to just understand what's going on. And, as far as mates, look for the realistic guys. Shoot, check them out. Look for the real ladies. Look for the ones who look like they got some consciousness. Don't play into it too much yourself. I mean, that's the beauty industry. That's everything. That's how they make it. That's how they're making money. They playing into women desiring to be that icon. And one of the reasons why you should just really embrace the beauty that you have within, one of the reasons is that you're going to be you the rest of your life. That beauty standard will change. 5 years from now, I'm going to tell you what, depending on the situation, it might be something totally different. It might be it could be a famine or something. So like any women who got more meat on them or look like they make good mothers, or a dearth of babies being born or something. Any woman that look more healthier and like they could bring a baby to term might be it. It depends. It's a lot of stuff that goes into what's going on in the culture, in the environment. Like the environment could change, but the thing is, you got to stick with whatever you got. So anyway, that's it. I knew this was going to be long, but it's really some deep stuff, because you could halfway do a documentary on this one. This is one of those subjects, but it's something that's touching every single woman. So anyway, Ray, that's it for today. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace.